My name is Cory Ryan. I am a husband. I am a worship leader. I am a follower of Christ. On the best day, I am an empty vessel that's just filled with Christ, that I'm a conduit for Him. So my favorite food, you know what? I'm gonna go with barbecuing.
Please join us for worship today. Hey! Will you sing with us? Lord, you bring color to all my darkness. Lord, you bring meaning to my melody. You're my direction, all my affection. You are my helping time.
My passion is people. I have found that there's no better way for the gifts that God's given me to plug in with people, to have an excuse to hang out, to have an excuse to live life, pour in, love on, just show a mirror to people about who they are and their value, all the things that Jesus sees in them. I have yet to find something that utilizes all my gifts to do that more than worship leading. Worship leading provides the excuse to ask people to be a part of this essential in serving that congregation.
Lord, I am seeking, you are revealing. In times of silence, you're my clarity, you're my foundation.
I have found utter joy every time I sell everything and follow Jesus.
You are of truth. You meet me where I am as I ask for you. You meet me broken. You call the worst of me. And in my weakness you are seen. Lean in, lay down, I will. Lean in, lay down.
The Bible talks about the fact that we are to give our lives, our entire bodies, as an act of worship. In looking at that, if we are being charged with leading worship, then maybe it has less to do with the sonic value of the moment and more to do with what we do with our whole week. Again, I'm back to discipling folks. My excuse is the worship. My excuse is the music. But what happens on Sunday is an outpouring of a week that was lived in worship. Worship is praise. Worship is waking up with a grateful heart and helping others to realize how great God is. That the Holy Spirit is in the room, that God is in the room, that there's a million reasons why we can rejoice at the fact that we are in a space, sharing that space with God. And so worship in its utmost being is just praise. Music in its utmost being is organized sound. When you figure out how to underscore and lead folks in recognizing the presence of God, that's something different.
You're making me, you're making me new again. You're making
That's where I've found the most value. When we can create a culture that sees people, that sees their giftings, that sees what they have to offer, that sees all of the things that God has poured into these people, all of their dreams and ambitions, and we support that. We want to support that. We see them and we invite them in, and we love on them, asking nothing in return. I love that. I love that. When we see, when I meet a guy at Starbucks, and I can tell by his right hand that he plays guitar, having a place to say, man, have you ever played? Would you like to play? Would you like to keep doing this? Do you write your own songs? And then pouring into those folks, that is where I've found the most success.
Overwhelming presence rest upon us, overtaking every hindrance to trust, overflowing Spirit, rise from our dust, overall, overwhelming presence rest upon us, overtaking every hindrance to trust, overflowing Spirit, rise from our dust, overall, rise, the King is in the room, rise, the King is in the room, rise, the King is in the room, rise, the King is in the room.
I would say a great team is a collection of multiple different ideas and personalities. It is a challenge to take a group like that and keep them all on the same focal point. But I have found the strongest teams are the ones that can disagree in a very healthy way and still feel like they're moving towards the same destination. There's a lot of parts of me that I don't do well. I put together bands for a living, like in the basic, like if you were just to write on paper, like what does it look like? I don't play drums to save my life. I can't, but I can find a great drummer, and I can give him a drum set, and I can make sure it's tuned and ready to go, and I can keep us all on the same path. And in the same way, I feel like a great team does that in so many different ways. There are things that you do not have to do as a great leader, but you can find and support people who do that better than you do. And when they feel like you see them, love them, and support them, you have a great team.
My heart is poor, my mind distracted, my spirit longs for you. Lord, I'm in need of your direction, my spirit longs for you. I lift my voice, it's what I have to bring. Lay down my life just to let it rise again. Take all of me, take all of me, take all of me, take all of me, oh.
So just to wrap it up, like, what is it that I'm called to do? I'm called I'm called to lead worship. And it starts because there's a need, there's a congregation, there's a group of people that are coming wanting to know the presence of God. I have found that the best way to feed that environment is to lead by serving. And so, in my job, I raise up volunteers, I raise up musicians, I find musicians with a heart that wants to serve that congregation. We do songs not that feed us, but that feed our congregation, that feed the vision of the pastor. We are in a servant role from the moment that we even get asked to be a part of this. So we get a chance to model that. And in that, we build a community of servants that want to experience God that much more. And we do that on the chancel. We do that by creating opportunities, by feeding those opportunities, by feeding an environment that's quiet from distractions so that we would recognize the Holy Spirit, by creating a culture that wants to serve, that wants to pray, that wants more of Jesus and the Holy Spirit, and to honor and be faithful. That's what I'm called to do. And if that's what you want to see happen at your church, then man, I'd love to be a part of it. I would love to build a community that wants to know that God is in the room and willing to do what it takes to get there.
Overwhelming presence rest upon us, overtaking every hindrance to trust. Overflowing Spirit, rise from our dust. Overall, we're gonna pray that again. Overwhelming presence rest upon us,